So you look at that, and then there's also the sociological matter, and this is where jurisprudence is so much more important than any other course you'll be taking during the course of your stay here, because you are looking at not just the science of law, you are also looking at the sociology of law. How do you study law looking at your society? And you look at law in a functional manner as an instrument of social change, especially for people in developing countries that require that. And that's why when we're talking about the sources of law and we go into interpretation of statutes, we'll be having a little discussion on whether we should be interpreting our statutes the way the Americans or people in Europe interpret their statutes. Should we be putting more emphasis on developmental elements in statutes? Why? Because obviously we are a developing country, so we should be focused on what develops us.
See online, we can send messages several times. No? Okay, one more time.
Then we also look at the study of the development of law and social systems. Because, you know, like we talked about plea bargaining now, we have to look at the development of law in other countries when we talk about our own country, so that somebody cannot use wool to cover your eyes and be telling you that you need what you do not need. And making laws to protect 2 people out of 200 million people. And why that is important is that as law students and as the future of the Nigerian legal system, you are at the vanguard of this discussion. Then again, people kind of treat law as a consciousness and a philosophy. When you look at what we now call African law, what is the main philosophy behind African law? What do you think is the main philosophy behind what you call African law? And I'm talking about our customary law, our traditional practices and usages.
Social standards, sir.
Social standards, okay. What else?
Religious standards.
Well, yeah, social standards, we had religious standards, we had all that. But now let's look at it specifically. If there is conflict between 2 individuals, it could be a criminal conflict, it could be a civil conflict. How was it resolved? With what sense, with what spirit?
Morality?
Yeah, morality is part of it. But I think a greater spirit will be the spirit of reconciliation.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The spirit of reconciliation, in the sense, let me give you an example of what happens even in the modern Nigeria that we have now. You are going there, you're a rich man with your, what's an expensive car nowadays? Right? Any new car is an expensive car, right? So you are going around, driving around in your expensive car, a keke napep hits your bumper. And you come out and you say, you, this man, why did you hit my car and all that? And there are people who saw that he hit your car. And you find somebody coming and saying, nah, please forgive him. He was not looking, he didn't know what he was doing, this and that. Why? The objective is to reconcile both of you so that each person can go on his own way. If what you do as a rich man is to pay for the bumper, you can handle it. What this poor man does is that he does not have any, he probably does not have money to pay for the bumper of your car, but he can leave the place a little more penitent and more subdued. And society thinks that is better because it reconciles you in the process. Tomorrow, if he sees you, he will greet you. You have not fought. And you, as the rich man, you are insisting and calling police and saying you must do this, you must do that. He was doing reckless driving. I'm going to make sure he goes to jail and what, which well within your rights. But within the confines of African law, the objective was always to reconcile people. It is now then that you'll be looking for witnesses to show that he drove recklessly and hit your vehicle. Do you think in Nigeria you get any witness?
You not get to.
They will tell you they did. The people who were saying this man was driving recklessly, we saw that he's very sorry. Please just leave him. God will provide for you to take care of your car. All of them will say they didn't see it. They didn't see the accident. So the objective was reconciliation, not the destruction of citizens. Which is why you find out in Nigeria today that even within our so-called English inherited legal system, you find the reluctance of people to punish harshly, as the law says. The reluctance of judges, the reluctance of policemen, the reluctance of prosecutors, the reluctance of lawyers. And because of that, our interaction with law is different from the interaction that other continents have with law. Because here we empathize with our criminals, sometimes to the detriment of our victims. I hope we're together.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we said and that is consciousness. Now, if your consciousness is at variance with the specific laws in your statutes, then it means obviously jurisprudence has work to do because it has to resolve that conflict. That should be your thinking for the future. And now,